Hey there and welcome to Scandal Steep. The music industry has always been a whirlwind of talent, power plays, and behind-the-scenes drama. For every artist who rises to superstardom, there are countless others who, despite immense talent, never reach their full potential. Kim Weston is one of those artists, a powerhouse vocalist with the voice, looks, and drive to become one of Motown's biggest stars. However, her career took a different turn, leaving many to wonder, was she simply unlucky, or did Motown have a darker hand in her fate? Kim Weston was born Agatha Natalie Weston on December 30, 1939, in Detroit, Michigan. Music wasn't just a part of her childhood, it was the very fabric of her existence. Like many future Motown stars, her first experience singing was in church. Gospel music provided her foundation, helping her develop the vocal strength and emotional depth that would later define her recordings. Even as a child, her voice carried a richness beyond her years, a quality that made her stand out. Detroit, in the 1950s and 60s, was becoming the epicenter of rhythm and soul music. The airwaves were filled with jazz, blues, and early R&B, influencing a new generation of artists. Kim, surrounded by these sounds, realized that her dream was to be more than just a church singer. She wanted to be a star. Her big break came when she caught the attention of Berry Gordy, the ambitious entrepreneur who had founded Motown in 1959. At the time, the label was still in its early stages, signing local talent and molding them into superstars. Gordy saw something in Kim, an undeniable, raw talent that could not be ignored. In 1961, she signed with Motown's Tamla label, joining a roster of young artists hungry for success. But at Motown, signing a contract was just the beginning. The label had a rigorous artist development system, ensuring that its singers not only sounded great but also carried themselves with grace and poise. Maxine Powell's finishing school refined their movements, while Charlie Atkins shaped their stage presence. Meanwhile, the Funk Brothers provided the tight instrumentals that turned songs into hits. Kim, like all Motown artists, had to work hard for her spot in the limelight. Her early singles didn't immediately top the charts, but her expressive, soulful voice caught the attention of producers. Soon, she was paired with one of Motown's rising stars, Marvin Gaye. The two recorded one of the label's most beloved duets, proving that Kim Weston was more than just another voice. She was a force to be reckoned with. Beyond her musical success, Kim also found love at Motown, not with just anyone, but with William "Mickey" Stevenson. The label's head of A&R. Stevenson was responsible for scouting talent and shaping the Motown sound. When he and Kim fell for each other, it wasn't just a romantic connection, it was a power move. Their relationship made them one of the most talked about couples at the label. But, as many have learned, mixing business with pleasure often leads to complications. At Motown, the company carefully crafted and controlled its artists' images. When personal relationships became too entangled with business, tensions arose. Some insiders whispered that Kim's career began to take a backseat once she became Mrs. Stevenson. Unlike Diana Ross, who had Berry Gordy's full attention and backing, Kim found herself sidelined. Gordy was known for his tight control over Motown's artists, making sure their careers followed the paths he envisioned. When Kim and Mickey decided to leave Motown together in 1967, it wasn't just a career move, it was an act of defiance. Many believe it put them at odds with the label's leadership, especially Gordy himself. Kim wasn't just a background player at Motown. Her voice carried power, emotion, and an undeniable presence. While she never reached the same superstardom as Diana Ross or Martha Reeves, she contributed to some of the era's most iconic songs. Tracks like Take Me in Your Arms, Rock Me a Little While, released in 1965, were quintessential Motown, soulful, catchy, and packed with raw emotion. Her version of the song was later covered by the Doobie Brothers, a testament to its enduring impact. Helpless was another standout track, dripping with heartache and longing, proving Kim's ability to make every lyric feel deeply personal. But her most famous moment in Motown history came in 1966 with her duet with Marvin Gaye, It Takes Two. The chemistry between the two was undeniable, their voices blending effortlessly over a lively, infectious melody. The song climbed the charts, reaching No. 4 on the R&B charts and No. 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. However, just as Kim's career seemed to be taking off, she was gone. It Takes Two became her last major hit with Motown. Why did her career stall? Was it simply a case of bad timing, or was Motown actively phasing her out? Some believe the label played a role in ensuring she wouldn't succeed after leaving. After all, Motown had a history of making things difficult for artists who dared to break free from its grip. Florence Ballard, one of the original members of the Supremes, is a prime example. She had the voice, the talent, and the charisma to be a star, but she wasn't Berry Gordy's chosen one. Diana Ross was. Slowly, Ballard was pushed out of the group and into obscurity. When she attempted to go solo, she faced roadblocks at every turn. Without Motown's backing, she struggled financially and ultimately died in poverty at just 32 years old. A similar story unfolded with Mary Wells, Motown's first superstar. Her song My Guy was a massive success, proving that Motown could create crossover stars. However, when she demanded better financial terms, she was met with resistance. She left the label in 1965, hoping to find greater success elsewhere. Instead, she found herself struggling. Her new music received little promotion, and it seemed as if the industry had turned its back on her. Some believe Motown had a hand in ensuring she wouldn't succeed outside its empire. David Ruffin, the voice behind The Temptations' biggest hits, also faced a similar fate. He wanted more recognition, believing he was the star of the group. When he pushed for top billing, Motown swiftly removed him. Though he was given a solo contract, his music never received the same support, and he eventually fell into addiction and obscurity. So where does Kim Weston fit into this pattern? She wasn't just another artist, she was married to one of Motown's top executives. When she and Mickey Stevenson left, they weren't just abandoning a record label, they were walking away from an entire system of control. Some insiders believe Motown ensured they wouldn't find success elsewhere. DJs were allegedly discouraged from playing her records, and distributors may have been pushed to prioritize other artists. The same story that befell Florence Ballard, Mary Wells, and David Ruffin seemed to play out in Kim's career as well. Despite her undeniable talent, Kim Weston's post-Motown career never reached the heights it should have. Her singles with MGM Records, such as I Got What You Need, failed to gain traction. Some blame poor promotion, while others suspect Motown's influence extended far beyond its own label. The music industry can be ruthless, and Motown, despite its legendary status, was no exception. For every star it created, there were others who were left behind, some by circumstance, others by design. Kim Weston was one of Motown's greatest what-ifs, a singer with the voice, presence, and talent to be a household name. But whether due to industry politics, bad luck, or a combination of both, she never received the recognition she truly deserved. One thing is certain, talent never fades. And perhaps, as music continues to evolve, the world will once again appreciate the powerhouse that was Kim Weston.